There's something else in there calling. No, there's something else calling. Oh, there! I saw him! There he is! Horicon Marsh is one of the most popular places to bird in the Midwest. While the marsh itself is loaded with fascinating birds and sights to see, there's possibly none more unique than the floating boardwalk. While looking around the marsh, we got a tip that a pair of rare birds were feeding just off of this interesting walkway.
Hey everybody, Derek and Ryan here from Badgerland Birding. We're at Horicon Marsh, and we were actually walking down one of the other roads, and we asked the lady if there was anything out there, and she told us that there were a couple whooping cranes here at the floating boardwalk. So we're gonna go out there, see if we can find them. It's always a great day when you can find some whooping cranes. So we'll also see if we can find some other species out there, and hopefully it'll be a good trip.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the cattails that are around there. The boardwalk is one of the coolest places that they have at Horicon Marsh, in my opinion. So it gets you right into the marsh, the spots where you usually can see from a distance but can't get up and close to. So hopefully there's some good stuff there in addition to the whooping cranes, and hopefully the whooping cranes are still there. We made our way over to the boardwalk and almost immediately noticed large white shapes straight ahead of us.
We just started going on the boardwalk and they're both right in front of us, so these should be some of the best views we've ever gotten of the whooping cranes. When I saw them at first, I thought great egret, because you see a bigger white bird, that's normally like the first thing that comes to mind, but zoomed in on them, they had the red by the face. Perfect for whooping cranes. Let's get a closer look. The whooping crane is one of two crane species native to North America, the other being the much more common sandhill crane. Whooping cranes are the most endangered crane in the world and are now federally protected. Hunting and habitat loss led to an extreme decline in whooping crane populations in the mid-1940s, and there was thought to only be 21 birds left in the wild. In order to help protect the species as a whole, an additional migratory population of whooping cranes was introduced to the Necedah National Wildlife Refuge in Wisconsin, with manned ultralight aircrafts leading them to their wintering grounds in Florida during the fall. They then returned to Wisconsin on their own in the spring. Today, there are believed to be over 600 whooping cranes in the wild, and recently, the first whooping crane pair successfully raised a chick at Horicon Marsh, which is a great sign for the species.
We continued on the boardwalk where we heard numerous sounds from the reeds around us. Some of the most recognizable calls were the rattling chatters of the marsh wren. Oh, that might have been one that just went in there. See it? He's moving around in that patch of weeds. Right there, just popped up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, just went to the other side. While they're always difficult to spot, we did eventually get a look at them up on the reeds. We also located some reptiles and amphibians in the water below. We have a lot of cool things going on right now on the boardwalk. The whooping cranes just flew away, and then there's some painted turtles here, a leopard frog, and we hear some soras calling from the background. While soras aren't uncommon, their elusive nature makes them a fun species to search for in the cattails.
The sora is a small chicken-like bird that is about the size of a robin. Adult soras are gray and brown with white edge feathers, black mask and throat, white lines on their sides, white under their tail, and a stubby, bright yellow bill. The breeding range of the sora is central and northern North America, and they winter further south. Soras are the most abundant and widespread of the North American rails, but are also secretive. Known for their whinny call, they are more often heard as opposed to seen. Soras can be found in wetlands with tall vegetation, but may also show up in other areas with water such as ditches or flooded fields. They feed mostly on seeds, aquatic invertebrates, and vegetation. Soras nest on the edge of shallow wetlands, and females build a woven shallow basket nest, with the male bringing them vegetation to use for the building process.
We encountered another secretive species just a little ways down as it patrolled the wet ground. There's something else in there calling. No, there's something else calling. Oh, there! I saw him! There he is! There's some little baby Virginia rail chicks here with the adult Virginia rails, and you can hear them calling from the cattails, and occasionally they'll pop out and you can see them, and they're adorable.
The Virginia rail is a small, secretive bird of marshes with a reddish bill, gray cheeks, brown body, and striped black and white sides. They are normally found in freshwater wetlands with shallow standing water and muddy ground. Their range includes most of the United States during different times of the year. Virginia rails can be difficult to spot, although they will feed out in the open, often with cover nearby. Virginia rails feed on insects and arachnids, small vertebrates, seeds, and plant material. Nests are made on floating mats of vegetation woven together to make a basket and often a canopy. They have 1 to 2 broods of about 4 to 13 eggs each. Chicks are fuzzy and black and are fed by the parents until they are 2 to 3 weeks old.
After watching the rails for a while, we stopped at the lookout point near the middle of the boardwalk. Here we saw blue-winged teals, mallards, a song sparrow, and a great egret. Not only does the boardwalk allow visitors easy access to the marsh, but it also serves as a structure for birds. We saw barn swallows resting on the support beams, an eastern kingbird perched on the posts, and a green heron using the walk as a hunting platform. We continued on to the end of the boardwalk where it loops back around on the egret hiking trail through the woods. During migration, these trees are a hotspot for migratory warblers. In the summer, it becomes a popular spot for vireos and flycatchers. On this day, one of the most common birds was the eastern wood pewee that we heard calling from the canopy. The trail led back to the parking lot and entrance to the boardwalk. Although this interesting walk is short, it provides a special look into a place that would otherwise be inaccessible. If you ever visit Horicon Marsh, the boardwalk is definitely worth a stop for the scenery as well as the birds that live there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding. Are you having a snack break?
Yep.
After seeing those rails, really worked up an appetite?
Virginia rails, need a snack. Send help.
Sasquatch turn.
Oh, and he's back.